Hey guys, on this week's episode I'm going to show you how I made my 1987 turtle sewer lair. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Start off, I've shown this before, but this is how I really quickly and easily make bricks out of foam, EVA foam floor mats to be precise. But I start with my pointy pen, and I do that just to give it a little bit of a rough edge, and I go back and forth. Then I do a quick little slice with the X-Acto knife to help it open up more, because you go a little deeper. When I do this, it opens up more with the heat gun. If I didn't use the knife, it wouldn't open up as much, is what I'm trying to say. But then I also stab randomly and repeatedly everywhere just to give it beat up natural feel and look. Yeah, look, I'm not touching it. Now I'm on to some paint. This is my trapdoor and mirror. The mirror is to match mirror on the wall behind Donnie there. And then I move on to staining some pieces of wood that are going to be like, I don't know, pillars, and hold it together, and that's a box. Anyway, I use shoe polish to do that, and I also did it on the fence, but I use shoe polish because it doesn't smell like a regular wood stain. It dries a lot faster, and the brush is on the tip. Now I have an orange yellow wash that I went over the fence with, and I've already hit the fence with a shoe polish, but then there's a couple red posts in the fence, so I just paint those red, and now I go a second coat of the wash there, and now I go back for more paint. I'm gonna start painting the walls now, and it's a yellowish orangish color, and I'm just kind of doing a dry brush. It's still a bit of a wash, but I'm not trying to cover everything fully or all the way yellow. I want to leave a lot of colors, and I don't want to get really in the cracks, but if I do, I'll just fix that later with a little bit of black paint. So I just get a thin first coat, so I like the black from the wall showing, but now I do a second coat because it needs to be more yellow to match the photo better, and also it makes the black and the cracks pop out more the more bright yellow I have. But also I still do it kind of randomly and leave some spots, but now I'm just touching up with a toothpick and some black paint in the cracks. And I'm on to the floor, but to get a little texture on the floor, I broke out some of my spackling, and I just randomly spread that around a little bit. Now I'm trying to match, they have some spackling on their walls, so I added that to my one wall that has that on it in the reference. This is the rooftop, and for that I went by like what the box looks like of the sewer lair edition 1988 original 6. I opened those in other videos, but now I'm adding some of that grayish bluish gray to the wall, and I took references from this toy, from the box, and from the actual turtle lair. Mostly the actual turtle lair in the cartoon, but I'm painting this trapdoor blue, and I added the trapdoor in homage to that old toy. Yeah. And just drilled a toothpick-sized hole. I put a little piece of wood, glued it on. That's gonna act as my switch to open, well, latch, I guess, hinge. No, not the hinge. But I'm painting the floor now brownish yellow to match the picture. Now I move on to the doorways, because I already built the walls, and just using super glue, and that's just some thin craft foam that I cut into the circles of the size of the hole, and then I use a thin strip to go in on the inside, and then seal all the cracks with the spackling. and then let the spackling dry for 15 minutes and paint that all silver to match the drawings or the cartoon. It's silver. I really hope this is recording. This is a long one. So I printed out, my printer didn't have any ink or color ink, so I had to color everything I printed and draw some stuff myself. But that's the kitchen, is in the next room, so I just put the picture so it looks like the kitchen's in the next room, and gluing the back wall to the backboard. And I also put a bunch of nails around, and they went too far through, so then I put another piece on the back. Now I'm gonna assemble everything together. So I used toothpicks and super glue to hold everything in place, and that's how that's gonna go. These I had to add these for support, otherwise the floor, or well, the roof, aka the street level, wouldn't stay in place. It would just fall down. And now just the foam, I put some toothpicks in it, but it's not strong enough, so I cut up some pieces of craft wood that I have, and the ones that I stained before, and I'm just putting those in to add some security to the structure, or strength to the structure. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm putting on the last wall the glue and toothpicks, and I put another pillar or beam. No, a beam goes like this, stud, but it's a whole, what do they call that? Post. Yeah, post works. I meant to put this pipe before I put that wall in. It would have been easier. Alright, now we're on to the couch. See, I made this really awesome template for the couch, and when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I can unlock the community tab and share all my really detailed blueprints. So that was the couch. I didn't even see that, but I had planned to use LED strips for the lights, but single strip or a single light from the strip kept shorting out, so I went to a backup plan. These, I didn't use any solder at all. They're just mini light bulbs, and you screw it on. I hooked the wire, put it in, screw it on. Now I test them all to make sure they work before I eventually wire them all together. But first I'm gonna get them set up for their lamp in different situations. I'm using hot glue to hold the wires in place because I didn't solder them, and also it keeps them from touching, and it holds the wood piece on, but because it's hot glue, I could pry it off if I needed to. And I put it in the TV now because the TV is going to light up. I put the picture, now I'm making a book. I did like an accordion, and then I staple it together, and I used a piece of cardboard for the outside, and then I cut the accordion so all the pages open once it was folded and stapled, because the TV has books holding up one corner. So I made those little books. And then now that's a lamp. I used matchsticks and a piece of paper and glued it together. Next, it's like a lamp. I actually have a very similar lamp just in the corner there, and another one in the other corner, but you can't see them, I don't think. But I used some craft glue to fill in that hole. The base is that's like from the whammy bar on a Guitar Hero guitar that I had lying around, and I melted, it was like a lid from a Powerade, and used that as a shade. Now I wire 2 and 2 together, then I wire those together, just red to red, black to black. So then they're all gonna wire to one wire that I'm gonna do right now, that's gonna go up to street level and to the power box. and I use, it's called heat shrink, and then it covers all the exposed wire that I twisted together and holds it in place. But some was still showing, so I used some electrical tape to fix that up so no wires are exposed or touching anything that they're not supposed to be. I glue down that top side, and now I put the wires through a pipe through the floor, and I move on to putting up all the decorations I drew and colored in to match the ones that they have on the actual place, or I mean actual sewer layer in the cartoon. But my wall wasn't big enough, so I had to move the mirror to a different wall and put the stop sign on a post because I didn't have enough wall space to glue it on, but that's alright. And I glue the blue chair in that I made the same as I made the couch, but I glue that in place to hold the wires behind it so I didn't have to glue the wires. Now I put some super glue and toothpicks I added after, and just using a black wash to color the toothpicks and to add some age to my old box that I just bought to hold the switch. That was like $1.50 at the dollar store, and it was the right size to hold 2 switches. So I wire the one switch and then wire to the switch into the power, and then the other one is green LED strip that is just the wire to the switch into the power. I didn't have to wire anything else together, but now I'm covering that with hot glue and put on the wire, test it, all the lights are working, so that's great. Now I'm gluing or putting the LED light in place. I put the trap door in place. I just glue a couple little wood pieces to hold it in place so it doesn't fall or it doesn't come off or out. Now I had glued the fence down with just a glue stick, and it was just easy to peel off that way, and added some skewers so that I could stick the fence directly into the foam, and I have a little like brick ledge that I put to guard the fence and also to match the old original toy had that. I made pole, and that's it. I tried to do that as fast as I could. That's what it looks like. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, remember, always keep your head up. Peace.